sure that they hedge against that particular exchange rate. Now, we've also discussed some of the advantages and the disadvantages. But before that, I remembered we said that exchange rate, it can be fixed against more than one currency. That is, if a country like China. Yeah, okay. Thank you and welcome back. Welcome back to this channel. I would like us to continue today with a pegged exchange rate system. A peg exchange rate system. There is a little bit we know about peg exchange rate system that we have discussed somewhere in the fixed exchange rate system already. Now, countries operating under a peg exchange rate regime, uh, you know, their currency's value to a foreign currency or some unit of account. Example, gold, the European currency, etc. Hence, while bilateral parity is maintained, the home currency's value fluctuates against other currencies in line with the anchor currency's currency. Now, there are a variety of different types of peg regimes defined by Jeffrey as intermediate arrangement or soft pegs. This includes the adjustable peg, crawling peg, basket peg, and target zone or bands. Under adjustable peg system, the bands are narrow, that is up to plus 2.25%, and the target rate is adjusted less frequently and by large amounts under a crawling peg. The bands are wider and the peg is regularly reset, sometimes weekly, in a series of mini devaluations. Under a basket peg arrangement, the exchange rate is fixed to a weighted basket of currencies that usually reflects the country's major trade partners. You know. Now, the target zone or band involves setting wide prescribed margins within which the government intervenes to maintain the exchange rate. I'm going to take it again. Now, we're looking at pegged exchange rate system. What is a pegged exchange rate system? I do not want to talk too much and get many people confused. So, I would like us to just go over it. What is a pegged exchange rate system? Now, uh, countries operating under a pegged exchange rate system, their currency's value to a foreign currency of some unit of account. Now, what this is trying to tell us is that pegged exchange rate system, it's just a slight difference between pegged exchange rate and fixed exchange rate system, you know. So this can be pegged against what? Other valuable currencies or valuable minerals such as gold. Now, while bilateral parity is maintained, the home currency's value fluctuates against other currencies in line with the anchor country's currency. There are a variety of different types of peg regimes or systems that are intermediate arrangement or soft pegs. Now, this includes the adjustable peg, crawling peg, basket peg, and the target zone or bands. Under adjustable peg systems, the bands are narrow, up to plus 2.25%, and the target rate is adjusted less frequently and by large amounts. Under a crawling peg, the bands are wider and the peg is regularly reset, sometimes weekly, in a series of minded mini devaluations. Under uh, under how do we call it? Under a basket peg arrangement, the exchange rate is fixed to a weighted basket of currencies that usually reflects the country's major trade partners. The target zone or band involves setting wide prescribed margins within which the government intervenes to maintain the exchange rate. Under this type of system, a country or a group of countries hold their currencies within a predetermined range, and government intervention occurs only when the exchange rate exceeds this range. In this system, market forces determine the exchange rate. If the exchange rate if the exchange rate moves above or below the predetermined limits, the government will intervene to move the price of the currency back within the tolerated or the tolerable zone. If the range is sufficiently narrow, the target zone approaches a fixed rate. If it is sufficiently wide, it approaches a freely floating system. Now, let's look at the advantages of this particular system. But then, if you listen carefully to the what is on the PowerPoint so far, you would agree with me that uh, the explanations between fixed exchange rate and what peg exchange rate are almost similar if you look at it, because the characteristics are almost the same. That is why in some countries they say that it's only three types of exchange rate system, which is a free floating exchange rate system. And then we also have the fixed exchange rate and then managed. Some other books, they blend or put together fixed exchange rate system and peg exchange rate system as one type of exchange rate system. Now, let's go on and look at the advantages of the fixed of the pegged. Actually, this is pegged exchange rate system. Pegged exchange rate system. Uh, okay. Uh, the peg exchange rate system. Let's look at the advantages. The country can mitigate pressures for domestic price fluctuations and indicate a signal of responsible monetary policy. The country can reduce inflationary expectations and stabilize prices of imports and exports. The government can devaluate its home currency in response to large shocks, and inflation is limited because such an exchange rate system limits the government's ability to issue money when there are no foreign exchange reserves. The disadvantages again for the last time. Now, the country can mitigate pressures for domestic price fluctuations, and indicate a signal of responsible monetary policy. The country can reduce inflationary expectations and stabilize the prices of imports and exports. The government can devaluate its home currency in response to large shocks, and inflation is limited because such an exchange rate system limits the government's ability to issue money when there are no foreign exchange reserves. Now, the last one before I call it off for today's session is the disadvantages. Now, basically, I tried to not talk too much or explain too much, not to get many people confused on this particular one. So, yeah, the disadvantages are when a nation links its monetary policy to some other nation, monetary policy and fluctuations in that other nation will create fluctuations in the home nation's monetary conditions. That is one of the disadvantages. And then again, the country's central bank loses its monetary independence. And then a peg system may lead to persistent misalignment if inflation is higher compared to the pegged country, causing a situation in which the home currency could be overvalued and uncompetitive. Another point is in order for this policy to be credible, additional institutional measures are required. Additional institutional measures are required for the credibility for this policy. Peg systems are often targets for speculative attacks. Such a system is not sustainable in small countries with huge capital flows leading to a balance of payment crisis. And then a peg system is unlikely to be sustainable when there is full capital mobility. With this I would like to bring today's sessions to an end. I wouldn't talk too much to get you confused. Therefore, I urge you to subscribe to this channel and I will bring you more details on things that has to do with economics. Thank you for watching and uh, thank you for subscribing to this channel and giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you very much.